Okay, so most radio stations in this country is actually owned by the SABC. Am I correct in saying that?
Not all of them.
But most of them.
SABC itself, they run about 17 or 18 radio stations. That's commercial and community radio stations. But out of the three big commercial stations in Cape Town, KFM is owned by Prime Media, and Heart, I think, is Kagiso Media. Speaking under correction. But of the three major commercial radio stations that are regional, one is owned by SABC, one Prime Media, and one Kagiso Media.
So, Mr. Manam, what has your experience been with like trying to playlist tracks? I mean, I would say that you are a verified hitmaker. I mean, you've been behind a lot of local talent, kind of like hitting the charts, and you've always been the mind and the producer and the music man behind all of these things. You know what I mean? So, I want to know what your experience was with the playlisting.
Well, with playlisting, it's always been sort of nothing. Nothing is certain. Where you would think you have a hit in your hands, which probably is, and you would think it's guaranteed airplay or guaranteed to be playlisted. Then, when you send it to the radio stations, it gets rejected, and you're not sure why. When you've heard other songs being playlisted, that's either, well, in my opinion, a bit like a not as good, or of a lesser quality. Um, or something of equal quality, I would say. So, sorry, you want to
Yeah,
say?
so you're basically telling me that there is no ways that there's no surefire way to make sure your track gets on air.
No, unfortunately, that is the case. I mean, I've spoken to so many radio stations and asked them what is the criteria for your song to be playlisted, and most of them will say the same thing. They would say, make sure it's a good song, make sure it has good hooks, make sure you have a good mix, make sure it's mastered properly, and
Okay.
make sure, of course, that you present it to them properly, with the right emails, the right information.
Yeah.
And even if you follow those guidelines, you're still not guaranteed to be playlisted.
Okay, wait. Like now, I mean, I spend a fair amount of my time listening to the radio, because it's part of my kind of one of my businesses. We basically program music for retail stores, and I mean, a lot of times I spend listening to local radio stations, see what's actually happening and what's getting exposure out there. Unfortunately, um, and you were mentioning production quality, mastering, and to be fair, I mean, these things are not consistent. I mean, I think to me personally, it sounds a lot of time like it's just an excuse to kind of like negate having that particular track on a playlist.
I think you're correct in saying that. Sometimes when there's no reason, like real reason given to why something is rejected, they could go to the default and say like, it wasn't like um, as good a quality, and that sort of thing. And but then you need to realize, you need to ask yourself the question also: the person who's actually saying that, um, do they have some audio experience, like in mixing and mastering,
Yeah.
and most of the times it isn't. Some music compilers could come up from a reputation of, they're just in radio a lot, so they use trends that they've followed, like either from overseas or from experience. Some are actual DJs, club DJs, which can also, this is also another thing. You have to remember that the people sitting in that room are all human beings. It's subjective, the opinion.
Exactly.
So your song, whether or not it gets playlisted, hangs off, or like depends on,
They call
whether.
that person in a good mood that day.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. The weather can affect. Let's say it's a nice sunny day out, it's hot and whatever, and now you submitted a slow jam. They could say no because, like, hey man, like I don't feel like this depressing shit right now. But am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, I
But,
guess so. It's our show. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
but let's say it was an overcast day that day, or let's say it was raining that day, and now you play that same song, and you're like, yeah, because I'm in that mood, so you need to remember, like, it's subjective, like people, that could really happen.